Hello, good morning. So this video is going to be about truck drivers, American truck drivers, immigrant truck drivers, and then a trucking company run by immigrant versus trucking company run by American trucking company, meaning that people that are originally uh, American Europeans that are been in the United States for hundreds of years versus immigrant Europeans that just recently come to United States and then they run in trucking company. Also other immigrants that are involved in this industry as far as opening their own trucking companies and running and hiring drivers, and then the culture differences and also the pay differences and negotiated culture that comes with immigrant drivers, that comes with immigrant trucking companies, that is not available with the foundational American companies or American truck drivers. And this is readily, if you look at how much American truck drivers make for driving a company truck versus how much immigrant truck drivers make driving a company truck, the difference is always on immigrant driver side. The immigrant drivers make more, 30% or more in just how much they're getting paid. This is I've been driving trucks for the last 9 years, traveling around United States. I've come across thousands of American truck drivers. I've watched a lot of their YouTube videos showing how much money they make weekly, how much money they make per miles, and also company advertising, American companies advertising how much they pay drivers, and European companies advertising how much they pay truck drivers. The difference is huge. And not just, even though they advertise sometimes a similar pay structure as far as how much money they make, they pay drivers for driving from one state to another to pick up deliveries from, let's say, from Minnesota to Texas, or the structure of the pay on the service, on the paper, looks similar. The difference is European trucking company and immigrant trucking company, they negotiate everything. Nothing goes without negotiation. And so, but American foundational American trucking companies do not negotiate. And this is why they're losing businesses to immigrant trucking companies, to immigrant truck drivers not working for American companies, because American companies are not negotiating when it comes to the pay. And you can look at my own on this YouTube, the pay stubs that I have showing, compare that pay stubs. You watch the video I have posted on here. It shows how much I was making as a company driver, and then compare that with American truck drivers. YouTube, they have on YouTube their own pay stubs, how much they make per miles, how much they make for a layover, how much they make for extra deliveries, and then how much they make at the end of the week. There is huge difference. And this is also And this is something that it seemed to be escaping in the minds of American truck drivers in the American industry. I went to trucking school in America. None of this stuff, the fact that you as a driver have to negotiate your way out of everything when you're working for a company, none of this has been taught in school. And they only taught how to drive. And a lot of these negotiating ignored. I have a call that was coming in. So, and the other thing I want to also say that the cultural differences in Europe, the company that's most of my 8-9 years of driving trucks, I work for European companies. People from Europe, Russia, from Lithuanian, from Ukraine, from Uzbekistan. These structures, these people, their culture is different. Okay, in America, from American trucking company, from American truck drivers, huge difference. For one, the people that own the company, it's like a family business, and they're highly dedicated people. They work extremely hard. Most of them, the dispatchers, the people in the office, the family, the grandmother, the fathers, everybody is involved in this. So they take these very seriously. So they're involved. The family is involved. It doesn't matter how much money they make or how much money they do not make. They all take an effort in this business. So they take it seriously. And so they look into these structures of how to run a trucking company, the law that is involved, the Department of Transportation, and the law that involved in running a truck. And they're not looking to be stopped by any laws. It doesn't matter what the law says. They're looking to comply with the law. That doesn't mean they're going to stop doing something because the law says so, or limit because the law says you have to have some certain restrictions or certain limit on anything. They will just comply with it. It doesn't matter how the compliances happen, if you know what I mean. So that's the difference in when it comes to the company they run, in the law that they have to run under. And the other thing, the other difference is negotiating pay. For example, when I was in trucking school, I went to school with a bunch of people, probably 200-300, and in that school, after about 1 month of school, and then I went to driving for a company, American company. The pay that the company offer as a student who just got their license is about 25 cents a mile. 25 cents a mile. In for that, or you also have to pay. They will cut the money that they pay you to go to school, to go to their school. So at the end of the week, 5 days, I was making $600 a week, minus they take the money out for the expense they pay for the school and for the hotel that where we live in during the school. So all that, maybe $300-400 a week. That's how much I was making. Then it's very important. And then I was looking around, because how can I make a lot of money? Because this is not what I come into this industry for. I'm not here to make $400 $500 a week. I was making over $1,000 a week just working regular jobs before I went into trucking. So I find out, that's when I find out there are other European companies that existed, that immigrant companies that existed, that even though I have 1 month of experience and my skills, it's very phenomenal. I can attest, my trainers can attest to this. The way I drive, how I park the truck, my awareness of my surrounding is phenomenal. So I can do what everybody else that has been driving truck for 3-4 years can do. I can pick up some deliveries, drive safely, and deliver back the truck into a loading docks and deliver the thing, the trailer back into the loading dock and deliver. And I can do this all day long. So another call, ignored. Another call come in. So I found the company. So I was making $400 a week, and then from there I went to a company where I was able to make $1,600 a week. The difference is almost 5 times more pay. But the rest of the other American American drivers, they never change this. They stick with this program until 1 to 2 years until they have accumulate enough experience, and then after 2 years they move on to making maybe another 40 cents a mile, 50 cents a mile, where they are able to make from $400 to $1,200 a week, and then minus taxes that they have to pay, and then eventually go home with $800 to $800 a week to their family. It's very slow progress, and I run into many American truck drivers who are making 55 cents to 60 cents a mile, even though they have been driving, they have 3 to 10 years experience. And the only reason why this is because they do not negotiate the pay. And the company they work for, American company, do not negotiate. There is no such thing. There is no negotiating salaries. There is no negotiating pay. Even though the people that run the company, the dispatch, the workers, the CEOs, all of them negotiate for themselves when they call brokers, when they call shippers. That is, they trying to get a contract to pick up something, to pick up a delivery. They negotiate for that price. They will call a shipper, let's say from Idaho. They will try to negotiate the pay. Okay, this delivery goes from Idaho to Texas, and the pay is going to be $3 a mile. And then the trucking company will say, the best we can do is $3.20, and then they negotiate and they come to agreement. And then the company will send the truck and the truck drivers to go pick up the delivery. And then that's how they negotiate every day. Everything is involved in negotiation. They negotiate when they get to the delivery, where this thing's supposed to get delivered. If the company is not taking the delivery quickly, if they have to have the driver sit there and wait, they negotiate in pay that says that if the drivers wait there for more than 2 hours, then the brokers, the people that get this shipment, where the shipment is coming from, they have to pay the trucking company at least $30 an hour for the wait until the delivery is accepted or delivery is being taken off the truck. So this is how it works for the company, but they don't get this money back to the drivers. The drivers get nothing other than the 40 cents a mile or 30 cents a mile. They don't get paid for anything for waiting a lot of times because remember, you are just a vessel, you are just equipment to the trucking company. You drive these things, get to the delivery, the pickups, and then if you wait, the company have you wait there for 3-4 hours. For that 3-4 hours, for 10 hours, the company's not gonna pay you. That is not acceptable. But American truck drivers accept that. They're willing to put up with these things instead of just leaving the company and then giving zero tolerance. If you don't pay me, if you don't value my time, then I don't value your time. I don't value your company. And immigrant trucking company understand this very well because they themselves, most of these people, before they get into starting their own company, most of the time they work in this industry. They see what's happening, so they pay the driver for waiting, for having. Remember, it's a company that's keeping the driver waiting. Imagine you go to work at any retail employment or any jobs where you come in, the company hire you, and you sit in somewhere because the company, the job that they hire you to do is not available. They have you waiting at the Walmart. Let's say you come to work as a cashier. There is nothing going on. You wait. The company don't pay you for all that time unless the customer come in to buy the product, or they don't pay you for anything. You're not going to be able to make any money. You're not going to be able to pay your rent. You're not going to be able to buy food for your family. And so the structures, to be fair to you, because what's the point of you working for a company if they're not going to pay you? You just go with the company that pays you. And so that's the kind of the difference between American company. And for this, American company losing drivers. Remember, there's always, they complain about truck drivers shortage. There's no such thing. There is no shortage of truck drivers. There are more than 4 million truck drivers in the United States. It's just that they are experiencing shortages because they don't pay drivers. They don't pay drivers competitive wage. So let's look at what European company pays, how the European company, trucking company operate in general. So they will advertise the same amount of pay. Let's say they'll say we pay you 60 cents a mile, and we pay you all miles. But if you call in, let's say I call in, I say, my name is so and so. I see you post. I have this amount of experience, but I'm available to drive and to deliver anything throughout the United States, anywhere. I can stay there for 3-4 weeks, no problem. But I'm gonna give you my whole, dedicated my whole time to this company. I'm gonna be sleeping in the truck. I'm gonna be eating food. Basically, I'm gonna be living in the truck, dedicating my life to doing this job, away from my family, away from everything that I do. For this, 65 cents is kind of low. My bottom line, what I'm looking for at the minimum, is at least, let's say, 75 cents a mile. You're gonna make, because I'm gonna be driving truck all the time, day or night, go all over the United States. You can pick any delivery from anywhere in the United States. I go pick it up, I deliver it, and for this, you're gonna make a lot of money. This is not just 5 days work. I'm working 7 days a week. I may take a couple of days off. So basically, what you offering is you offering the company your whole huge amount of yourself, and it doesn't matter where in the United States. No restriction on yourself. You go and pick up, you go and deliver. But 75 cents. Let's agree on 75 cents a mile, and then all of us will make money, a lot of money. This is how European company operate. They don't care. They will pay you 75 cents because they know you're gonna work. You're a dedicated, hardworking person. You have the experience, so it's not like they're gonna train you, and you're gonna be very happy to traveling, to delivering all over the United States. They can put you anywhere in the United States, all 48 states, and basically chasing the money, chasing the load. But remember, there are a lot of companies in the United States, millions, tens of millions of the companies that need something delivered. So if there is hot market in certain parts of the United States, because you're gonna be available, the company can put you anywhere. It's basically like a military war going on in the market. Whoever have the more people out there is gonna make the most money. The company understands this, and then they will pay you. But American company don't care about this, because a lot of these people who are negotiating the pay for American companies, they don't care if the company succeed or if the company fail. Either way, they don't have any stakes in this company because they don't own the company. You know, the owners, the people that have invested money in this company are not the one that run the company, because if they do, they will do exactly whatever it takes to get the best people, strategically place, let's say 100 drivers, 100 trucks. You put them strategically in every part of the United States to chase the delivery, to chase the money, and make you the most money. And the pay, as long as you make the money at the end of you make 30 to 40% after you pay everything, after you pay drivers, the fuels, the insurance, the people that work at the office. At the end of that, you make some money. That's all that matters. You make 30 to 40%, but you cannot make that money if you don't have, just like if you cannot win a war if you don't have a proper fighters, dedicated people. If you don't have proper weapons, you can't do that. So a lot of American companies, they don't have the people that have a vested interest in success of the company. Either way, they're gonna get paid for their paycheck, whether the company success or the company fails, unless the company files bankruptcy. So they don't care. But the European company does. They do care. They care so much. They have the grandmother working, the grandfather working, the children in the office helping with the fax paperwork. Everybody have a vested interest in success, and success is they share goal in the company. That's what's missing. And the one thing that now, if you're American drivers, you would say, okay, I'm going to negotiate with these. I'm going to work for European companies. I'm going to work for immigrant companies, and I'm going to negotiate. That's good. Or work for American companies. I'm going to negotiate. A lot of us, small, like 5 trucks, American company, they're willing to negotiate as well. Let's say you have, because it's a family-run business. If you have a five truck American company that are owned by a small family, the owner of the company is very close to the operation of the company, so he's gonna be right there. The management is probably his friends or whatever. They're going to negotiate because they want success, they want to grow, they want to make more money. So if you're working for a small American company, you know you can negotiate them. Just make sure that you're offering something to the company. Whether you're gonna put more hours in, you're gonna work more days, because the company cannot pay you more if they're not making more money. If they're not making more money, you gotta understand this. The company, if you say, I'm gonna work 5 days a week, the same exact things that I was doing before, but I want to make more money, the company may not be able to afford this, because they cannot make, there's no way for them to increase to make more money for themselves. And so if they raise your pay, they're losing money. That's not how it works. They don't go into business to make you rich. They get into business to make themselves rich. But if you help them in this goal to make them rich, they're gonna make you rich too. It's a share value, it's a share culture, a share goal. So you go to the company and say, look, instead of working 5 days a week, I'm gonna work 6 days a week, but I want, let's say, $150 more on my paycheck every week. Every week. They will do that. Absolutely, they will do that. No person with a reasonable, intelligent person will refuse to do that. If the market allows them to, if there is a way where they can add additional work, additional deliveries, they may have to sign another contract with the Schneider or with the whatever, FedEx, to get account established so they can add additional deliveries for that one day. They will pay you for that. Or you can say, you know what, instead of doing the local work, you can put me have anywhere in the United States, anywhere that's hot market. Remember, in the United States, I'm speaking too much. In the United States, the country is huge. So you have states that is closer to the ocean, closer to whatever, all over. So you can look at the market on a map and say, you know what, let's say I have 3 drivers. I can put one over here, I can put one over here. It's like there's a hot market always. Logistically, there's product companies, tens of thousands, millions of them all over the United States that want things delivered. Some regions in the United States, they pay more than the other regions. So you can put the drivers. If somebody's in your company, they're willing to work all over the United States. You can design a specific area of the United States. You can say, you know what, I'm going to put this driver over here, and then put another driver over here, put another driver over here, and then we're going to strategically take over the market over here. We're going to monopolize whatever hot market commodity that you can deliver. Otherwise, you will not be able to do if you don't have the people that are willing to go to those areas to make the delivery. If you don't live in that area. So what I'm saying is, so that's why immigrant truck drivers make more money. Because sometimes, truck drivers I meet at the truck stop, they ask me, hey, how much money you make? And then when I tell them, they don't believe me. I say, you know what, I make about $2,000, $3,000 a week. They think it's a scam, that I'm lying to them. When I show them the pay stubs, and they see this pay stub, they say, oh, that's 1099. That's not a real, you have to pay taxes. Of course, we all have to pay taxes. The difference is the misconception. There is some huge 90% of American truck drivers don't believe 1099 is even legal. They say, oh, that's not legal. The company's gonna go bankrupt. It's funny, but it's true. A lot of them don't believe it, but they are 100%. They're 100% wrong in thinking that pay 1099, getting paid as an independent contractor is something wrong with that. They're absolutely wrong. Let me tell this mindset is what's killing them also. Their pay is what's killing the amount of money they're making. So let's say I get 1099 in a week. At the end of the year, you can file taxes. You're not gonna pay any more taxes. The money that as if you're not gonna make any more. You're not gonna pay any more taxes. I want to try to explain it in a way people can understand. You're not gonna pay more taxes than someone who's working as a W-2. You actually pay. Sometimes, most of the time, you don't pay any taxes because you can claim deductions. But you also file in it as a company. Remember, you file in as a company, and 1099 a company. You're a company, and then you file it as a S corporation. Look it up if you don't know what it means. You basically S corp, S corp, S corporations. So the money comes to you from the trucking company. This actually comes to your company because the check is coming in under your company name. And then at the end of the year, let's say you make $100,000. You pay yourself $30,000 or whatever is more reasonable, or $40,000, and the rest you only pay taxes on that $40,000. You don't pay taxes on the $100,000 that you make. And then you basically issue yourself W-2 for yourself, and it's a $40,000, and the $60,000 that's left in the bank under the company name stays there. There is no taxes on that money. The only taxes that you pay is the taxes that for the $40,000. Even on that, you save so much money on that because you can file so much deductions for yourself. If you don't know, I suggest that you get an accountant, PC certified accountant that does business account, and then you will save a lot of money. And as far as what would happen to the money that's left in the company, your company names, in your company name account, in your bank account, what would you do whatever you want with it. You can invest it in the stock market. You can buy a house with it. You can buy a car with it. It's your money. Okay, you basically buy anything that you want, but do it a legal way so that it will reflect that it is income of the company for the benefit of the company. And that is one of the many ways why American truck drivers, an American company, is losing. American trucking company is losing in the market because they cannot keep good drivers, competitive drivers, smart drivers. And the trucking drivers also, they're not negotiating the way why they're not getting paid. Why their pay is not competitive is because they're not negotiating the pay based on the market values. Actually, when I'm negotiating the pay for myself, I don't negotiate based on the market value. My pay has to be above the market value. If you don't, I'm not gonna entertain any your company. If you offer me, let's say right now, in April 2025, the pay average for truck driver is from 65 cents to 75 cents for one truck drivers that are doing either dry van, reefer, and so if someone is offering me 60 cents a mile, I'm not gonna accept it. If it's less than 70 cents a mile, I walk away from it. I don't care how they. Sometimes the company will advertise it, make it seem very sweet deals. They will tell you we are the best company. We love our drivers, and we offer the best pay in the market. Whatever. I know what the best pay is in the market is 75 cents. And if you cannot do that or more, I don't care how you come across, how you advertise it. Love don't pay bills. Love doesn't make me rich. Love doesn't buy me a house. I don't care if you love drivers. Yes, because a lot of people being manipulated by trucking companies with these ideas, we have this and we have that, we are very kind to truck drivers. That's what you're supposed to do. That is not commodity. You're supposed to be a human being. And that doesn't translate into what the market pays. Imagine a broker tells you, we love trucking company, we love them so much, but you can we pay you the highest pay in the market. That's gonna be $1.50 a mile. But we love you so much. Of course they love you because they're getting rich off of you, but that is what it sounds to drivers when you tell them, we love truck drivers and we're offering you 60 cents a mile. So stay tuned.